help you be successful. That's my job. Believe it. I've been doing this 27 years. That's a fact. Disney ESPN ain't gonna help you because none of them know the right side. Trust me, they know nothing. Let's kick their ass. They don't know a damn thing about handicapping. And I'm coming after you, Disney. I'm the guru. I am Sportsguru.vegas. That name was earned by picking winners. That's how it works. Make no mistake, I'm here to win.
Absolutely. All right, good afternoon, gurus. Welcome to my show, Sports Guru Vegas, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, the greatest city in the world. And we haven't been winning lately, right? Yesterday, we had a couple games in Las Vegas, and I figured, these teams have been competing, Santa Clara and San Francisco this year against these teams. We actually had Santa Clara at St. Mary's on the road. They covered. And then we also, Santa Clara, San Francisco, we did lose against Gonzaga. They gave us 9. It wasn't quite enough on each game, right? So we lost it by a couple points on each game, and the Bulls didn't do very well. But we do have the board's going to be big, gurus, now. Tomorrow and Thursday are the 2 biggest days. So we expect to have a good day these next 2 days and into the weekend. Bigger conferences are usually better for us. I've seen more of these teams. And I think we have we certainly have a bounce back week. We started this morning with I did release a couple games on TikTok. Fordham got there this morning. They actually won outright. Right now, the George Washington, Goose, and Georgia Tech are playing. We released those as well. We like the Hurricanes this afternoon, and I released that as well on both round robins. So we do like Miami to win today. That was released earlier, and they should get there today. They can handle this team, Boston College. So they should get there today, gurus. There's a lot of early games. This Fordham game started at 8:30 West Coast time. And that means I had to get this video out at 7:30. You should probably, if you saw me, I wasn't in the best of it. Not that I'm a groomer here, but anyway, gurus, this is a time of the year you have to dig in, right? It's been a long season for us. I started this show when college basketball started, and we've had, ups and downs in it overall, and we've had a very good run at times, and we need to finish strong, gurus. I'm doing this show today. Actually, I'm doing the show because we have some NBA games I want to release, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But we want to maintain. So I'm going to remind you, look for videos early on TikTok and X because they start early, these games, and I get them out. I try to give you at least an hour to get the bets in, after viewing the video. So I'm going to continue that. That's going to happen pretty much through the rest of the week if we do have an early game like we did this morning. So we do have those. But pretty much if you haven't been on TikTok or X, I did post the college for today that we released, and 2 of them are going right now. One just finished, and then we have a couple more. Miami's later today. You can still catch that. And then there's another game, Bryant, I released. I misspelled it, so be careful. It's the morning time, gurus. I didn't have my coffee yet, if you will. But I do want to get into the NBA because we do need to have a successful day in that today, and I hope we do. Let me go right to it real quick. And here we go. So we're going to go with these teams I like today. They 3 home teams getting points. Memphis has struggled a lot this year but they do compete against these types of teams. Washington is a road favorite. Now, Memphis has a lot of injuries this year. They played early in the year. They lost. Memphis has predominantly been better on the road this year. A lot of the wins I've had with the Grizzlies have been more on the road than at home. But as everything in life, right, it always adjusts. It goes back, and we hope to cover these points at home against Washington. Again, two teams that really aren't playing. They're playing for contracts, and they're playing for next season. So no real reason, except we are getting points at home. And generally in these positions, I like to bet the team with more motivation getting the points. And let's see what Memphis can do. You know, they've had been very weak this year at home. Morant's been out, right? He set the table for this team to struggle, and that's exactly what they've done. Very, very bad season. But let's see if we can cover these points at home. In Washington's they're nothing to talk about either. Utah is actually Marcuson's out, but this team, we had them the last time, Gurus, and they helped us win against the Bulls at home. This is not the Bulls they're playing today. They're playing the Celtics, but the Celtics did play yesterday. They won pretty easily, but they still played. Porzingis could be out. The line, you can get 7 right now if you go on there. It opens 6.5, but I put 7 because that's what the current number is. So we don't know exactly who's going to be out in this game for Boston, but we'll see. You know, the number hasn't really moved much. Right now, it tells me he could be out, Porzingis. We hope he is. Now, they blew the Warriors out without him, right, when we had them, so they still could win. But that's a decent amount of points for Utah at home. A very traditionally good home team. And to play back-to-back, to go to Utah where the air is a little heavier, you know, it's higher altitude. So we're hoping that that's enough to cover this spread. Boston, you know, this is a long season. They're managing themselves. They're probably the best team in the NBA from what I see right now. We'll see how that ends up. Denver has beaten them twice this year. And Denver is the champions. They still are the champions, and you have to beat them. Now, they're going to have home court, Boston. But again, beating this Denver team, this is a team that's played together for years. And it shows, you know, it's hard to beat this team. They know each other very well. Joker is a point forward. They have basically 2 point guards out on the floor. That makes it very hard to match up against this team. And that's why Boston's lost twice against Denver this year. So until they can beat them, the Denver's is the best team in the NBA. But numbers-wise, records-wise, and the additions that they made with Holiday and Porzingis, right? They look to be obviously championship ready. And I would not be surprised if we don't see these two teams, Denver and Boston, in the championship. That would not, I don't think that surprised anybody. And then Sacramento. Now, I released Sac on Sunday. They lost to Houston outright, right? Which is they shot 18% from the three-point line. I don't suspect that's going to happen today. You know, some teams, they have been struggling a little bit at home, but that's typical. It's a long season, Gurus. So, you know, there's ups and downs along the way. I do believe they'll get back on track. And Milwaukee's been on the road for a while, West Coast swing. And Sac's due to win. They need to win a game. They talked about it during the game. I watched the Houston game on Sunday, and they just couldn't hit anything. And you got to give hats off to the Rockets. They own this team. They've beaten them 3 times now this year, right? They had beaten them twice in Houston. I figured Sac gets the win at home off the losses, but this team just is very, you know, as you know, Guru, some teams match up very well against other teams, and it's up to me, right, to find those matchup advantages for us, and so that we can, you know, compete first and then make some money. The weekend was interesting. You know, we had 2 games, Boston University and I believe it was North Dakota, both in prime position to win the game, and they both lost. We had a 9-point lead with 2:50 left on a neutral site with North Dakota. They lose. They don't score a point the rest of the game. Other team has to hit a shot at the buzzer to win. And then we also couldn't get it. We had a 21-point lead, 18-point lead with Boston University. At halftime, we lost. And we're getting 1.5. So, those are tough games to overcome because I put a lot of work into finding those matchups. And again, once you bet the game, obviously the rest of it, you're powerless over that. You have to just deal with the consequences. But that did take some air out of me, Saturday, Sunday, because I was looking for a good bounce back day. UAB got there, they were down, and they came back and they won like they're supposed to. And these other teams didn't get it done, and they were on the same ticket. The NBA went 1-2. Again, Houston beat Sacramento. But I do look for Sac to bounce back. They've been struggling. That happens. They'll keep shooting. What do shooters do? You keep shooting. That's how you break out of slumps. And we need to have a positive day in the NBA today. We also need to have a positive day in these basketball games and the tournament games. And again, a couple of them are going right now. Currently, I released those earlier before the show. And as long as I had something today, Gurus, that I wanted to do a show. I haven't done one since I think Thursday or Friday. And so we're trying to keep this. And again, we're gearing up more towards football next year too. After the conference tournaments, we have some NBA, some hockey, baseball starting, and I'll do shows periodically do that. But we're really gearing up also for the NFL and college football. That's when all of these businesses, my businesses, takes off a lot, right? A lot more viewers, a lot more people to be accountable for. But this has been very helpful. I started this show in mid-November, and I started posting the videos in early to mid-December. We waited to do that, and but that's all of these things have helped build the business, right? The recognition, and so now it's up to me to make sure the standards stay high. We have to compete. We had a difficult weekend, but we were right there. Grambling lost in double overtime. We're getting 2. So we had some games that could have easily went our way, and they didn't. And we have to get those games back, Gurus, today. That's just the way it is. This weekend, I need to finish on a high note, and I believe Mark and I will. We're certainly doing the work to make that happen for you guys. So this is actually the only games we're releasing today at this time. The games have already been released on the other platforms. And again, the NBA, I've been conservative with the NBA, and for good reason. It's harder to read it after the All-Star break for me. The game changes, trades kick in, teams have already played each other, so you have more matchup clarity, if you will. So some games aren't as, they get sometimes tougher to handicap. That's not surprising in the NBA. We had a very good first half of the NBA. We won, and now we need to finish strong with the NBA. We need to finish on a positive note, and that's why I'm doing this show today, because I want to finish on a positive note with the NBA. And here's our games today. Again, all home teams. And money line is optional, Gurus. It always is on round robins. I would recommend that you take 20, I'd say about 15% on these games today. That's about right, because the back-to-back, that's reasonable. And that means for you new Gurus, I want to welcome the new viewers from TikTok and X platforms who happen to be viewing today, the show. And anyway, we do round robins. That's what it says. That's what I release on my videos. And we do that so that if we go 2-1, we get our money back, and in some cases make money. That's why we do that. And also we back these up on this situation here. You want to take the money line on these 3 games for something on a percentage basis. And that accelerates your profit. We've been talking about that since I started this show. Also, straight betting, I've been promoting that. And what that does, Gurus, is that when games are choppier, you don't lose as much. You manage, you hold your own. So I've been promoting and suggesting you do both like I do. You want your predominant bet to be the straight bet, and then you want to back it up with your round robin, which is a more aggressive bet. But you want to do both, because when we have runs like we've had, we won a lot. We had a very good seam over the Super Bowl, and that's when those round robins accelerate. So we're hoping now we get into a seam here between now through the weekend that we can make some money here with these tournament games and some in the NBA as well. We will have the dance starts next week on Thursday, and there's always games. I usually have about at least one round robin per day on the Thursday, Friday first round matchups, and it could be more. We'll have to see what the matchups are. That should be exciting. That always is. We're always, college basketball, Gurus, it's a lot of work. And the reason I started this show is because, first of all, you have to manage all these games. And I'll be honest, even for myself, with the experience Mark and I have, you still have to set the times appropriately to get the work done. There's a lot of work. And then for me, I want to make this easier for you guys to follow. So I'll do the work. And then the games, they're easier to follow when I put them together for you. That's my job. That's why I did this. I want to, unlike the other networks, ESPN, right, Fox, these other shows, they're not going to do this for you. They can't. They don't even know what games to bet in the first place. And if you notice, most of them are talking about football right now. The NFL, are you serious? Think about that, Gurus. Now, secondly, they have an ESPN betting app. So they're helping you zero when it comes to that. They do have a couple betting shows on ESPN I've seen in the afternoon, which are completely worthless. Every time I watch it, most of the time they have props. They usually are against one another on a game. How are you going to figure out who to bet when you have something like that? They're not there to help you win, Gurus. That's a simple fact. It's obvious. So I've been promoting on my show people like myself. There's other podcasters who have a lot of experience like Guru. Not a lot, but there are some. And, I hope you're winning with them. I've got to step my game up. I have to. It's been going on for about a week, a little over about a week and a half, and it's been choppy. It could have went either way on a couple games to win our tickets, but that's normal. You have to win. That's what we're here for. We're here to win. That's what my promotional video says. So I have to back that up. So let's see how this goes today. Again, the tournament games are in progress right now. The only two I think you can bet now would be Bryant and Miami. Miami is our best bet today. Miami Hurricanes. And I would take that on the money line, Gurus. Again, that's on my videos. I put Miami on both videos. That tells you they're our best bet today. And they should be able to beat Boston College. This coach is has been successful in the tournament and previously is with George Mason. And Miami's always been a tough out, always in the dance. They're not going to go this year, but they can win this game. That's all we care about, Gurus. So you have that later to watch. You can add that to this round robin if you like, make it a 4-teamer. But just be prepared. The reason I'm doing this show is we have bets. I do like these NBA games today. And then also setting it up for tomorrow. There's a lot of games tomorrow. There's over 40 games tomorrow, right? All neutral sites, most of them. And so Mark and I will have those ready for you. If they're in the morning, like Fordham this morning, I'll have that out for you early. Make sure when you follow me, you're going to see, you'll know when the videos come out. And now it's just we have to get the results now, Gurus. I want to finish strong through this weekend, and we're going to dig in to get that done for you guys. So we're starting out today with this game here with these three. Actually, NBA, right? Go figure. because the conference games are early now. It's random. They all start at 8, 9, 8:30, 9 West Coast time. That's just the way it is. And the tournament's going to be like that too, as you know. 9 o'clock games, they start the dance. So what I'll do with that is obviously, probably I'll certainly release it in the morning. Maybe we'll do the night before because we know all the spreads and we know who's playing by Selection Sunday. So we should be able to get these out to you even a day earlier. And I'll probably do that for you, Gurus, because the spreads are already out. We know who's playing. We know all the matchups. So we'll probably get that done so we don't have to hurry. It gives you guys time to get the bets in. But for right now, this is the way it is. Early games and late NBA. That's why I'm giving you the NBA. These are all later games. But so you want to stay with me on the show. Set your alert. There's a lot of you out here on spring break, so I'm hoping to get out there very soon. I know tomorrow's a big day. Get out there and meet you guys, get some more subscribers, meet some more good people out there, good college kids, right, who love to bet. And I need to be here to help you guys, and that's my job. So best thing is stay with us. We're gonna be on top in the end, Gurus. We are. We're gonna be on top. So I'll do this show possibly tomorrow.